we were talking about Hive, and I heard you were just talking a little bit about portfolio theory. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I just feel like, obviously Hive's up like is it up? It's up like 250%, I think, is what I saw over the last
I
like
mean,
30 to
since
60
I was
days.
gonna say it depends on when. Yeah, so I mean, on November, it literally bottomed out November 5th at it closed at 17 cents on November 5th. So we're at 62 cents now, basically 2 months later, like pretty much exactly 2 months later. So, yeah, that's a heck of a run.
Yeah, it's insane. It's well warranted. I think a lot of people were looking at Hive and they were wondering why it wasn't moving. That being said, I kept reminding people as well, that the entire altcoin market, wasn't really moving much.
Uh,
It wasn't just Hive, and it still isn't. It's obviously Hive's now moved a lot. There's still a lot of altcoins that haven't moved much. I mean, you look at like Ethereum, the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, and that is pretty immovable. I mean, it's at 0.035. It's been really just hovering, and it's super low. So, that's pretty low relative to where Ethereum usually sits, in Bitcoin terms. So. So yeah, I think, I saw a lot of negative sentiment about Hive, and you see it about most altcoins out there because, like I said, most haven't moved much, but Bitcoin is obviously at 100K. So yeah, I think the thing is though, what you see is sentiment eventually bottoms out. It gets so bad, people are like, "Wow, this thing is never going to go back up," and it's at that moment where the turning point comes. So you let the weakest hands will sell, and then the turning point comes right after that. So, when you hear from people that they sold, right before something went up, those are the kind of like the final people to get out before something goes up. Um, and that's a pretty common phenomenon in really everything that you can trade. So I think it's just pretty obvious that uh, I think it's pretty obvious that Hive deserves to go up. Um, in terms of technology, in terms of, it as a cryptocurrency. I think most of us just kind of expected it. I managed to scoop up a lot of Hive over the last few years, while it's been down. So, we use with INLEO, we use a ton of Hive. And with all the onboarding lately, we've been using even more Hive than we usually do. So our need for Hive power continues to grow. Um, and obviously, in terms of value, it was a good time to buy. So I see Mcoin said, "How do perpetuals affect the price?" So he's talking about the perpetual futures. So if you haven't been following what's happened to Hive and why it's up, essentially what happened is Hive got listed on a bunch of perp exchanges. So a perpetual future is basically an options contract, but they don't expire and they don't settle back into the underlying asset. So they're
mm.
just a continually traded thing, and a short, or whether you go short or long, you can hold it forever. That's why it's called perpetual. Um, and there's essentially just a funding rate, and that funding rate kind of determines, the insurance premium, if you will, of the perpetual contract. So when you trade any derivative contract, there's some sort of premium, and with perpetuals, it's a funding rate. That funding rate has been something that's really interesting to watch because it's been, and we were talking about this pre-show, but it's been going as high as 2% every 4 hours, which is, and that's negative 2%. So essentially what that means is if it's at negative 2%, then every 4 hours, the shorts have to pay the longs 2% of their entire position. So that APR comes out to, I think, like, what is it, 4,500% yearly. So, the amount of capital that you can essentially make by just being long and getting paid that funding rate is huge. The question is, you can't just sit here and go long right now because, Hive's already up 3x essentially, um, from where it was a few months ago. And if you go long now, what if it goes back down to 25 cents or 20 cents or 30 cents even? You lose half your stack. So, it's an interesting game. It's a game of cat and mouse, really. And we've got Cat here to explain it to you.
That's funny. Don't
But
ask me.
yeah,
I'm I'm the jackass that sold a chunk of Hive at 65 cents, although technically it's not a terrible sell yet. I'm hoping to buy back. Uh, I mean, I don't know. At this point, I might buy back if we see 50 cents. Originally, my plan was to buy back down around, you know, high 30s, 40 cents, but we keep getting these pumps, so might not get that chance.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. And like I said, the funding rate is really driving a lot of this, in my opinion. It's hard to say exactly what it is, but when you look at the funding rate and you try to track, the velocity of it, I think that we've got a little bit of an indicator of what's happening. So like the funding rate's pretty low right
Yeah.
now, which to me means we'll see a little bit of a correction. That being said, the funding rate can turn around, in a matter of a few hours. So as soon as that funding rate starts to turn around, the price tends to go up. Because once people see the funding rate going up, they start buying the perpetuals, knowing that they're going to get paid that funding rate. So it is an interesting game. The question is, when does it come to an end? And I don't know, because Hive has such a limited supply. So what's happening is there's a lot of short interest in Hive because this is like the first time you can short it in several years. But there's no Hive out there. So when someone shorts, if you know how shorting works, they're borrowing from someone who's long and they're selling it instantly and then promising to pay it back later. So essentially now imagine that a bunch of people want to go short, but there's almost no Hive out there in order for them to go short with. So it's creating a short squeeze scenario.
Yeah. And like anything else, I mean, right? So right now, technically, there's for those in a position to, kind of exploit it and benefit from it, there's a market inefficiency. But as we know, market inefficiencies don't last forever. So like this environment's going to change. The question is, will this run on for months? Will it run on just for a few more days? You have no idea. But at some point, it's going to balance out. That liquidity issue is going to, dissipate. But yeah, right now it's an interesting opportunity. And yeah, you got to think that it's a big, at least part of why Hive is pumped because, could it just be a complete coincidence? Yeah, but you also look at when the perps launched and you look at the price action of Hive and it's like, well, that's an interesting coincidence. Um, so
They're definitely related, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah. And so at least at a minimum, it's somewhat of an influence. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, you know what else has been interesting to watch is the 24-hour trading volume of Hive versus the market caps. Like right now, market cap, and this is, by the way, relatively low compared to where it's been at the past couple days. The market cap of Hive right now is 290 million, and the last 24 hours, $900 million traded. And keep in mind how much Hive is actually staked and powered up. So the amount of trading activity is just astronomical.
yeah.
The last all-time high for Hive was $3.41, and that was in November 2021, which was, I think, right around
Yeah.
the time FTX blew up, if I remember correctly.
Wow, it's been that long already since FTX blew up.
Yeah, it feels like yesterday. Feels like
Holy
yesterday.
cow. Did not feel like it's been 3 years.
4. Oh, well, almost 4.
Yeah, three and a half, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, whatever.
still. Still
Yeah,
feels like it was like a year and a half ago. I mean, I remember
yeah,
when that happened too. I literally said, I'm like, dude just set back crypto at least 3 years.
yep.
And here we are, 3 plus years later, and and it's,
Things are
been
coming
really,
back.
you know, wow, it's wild.
Yeah, it
Thank you,
is.
SPF, for wasting 3 years of my life. Much
Yeah, he
appreciated.
easily. Yeah, I mean, imagine where things would be today without that.
Yeah, who knows?
Um,
I mean, obviously, I'm sure we still would have had some kind of market cycle, but I don't know there would have been as big of a crash, so to speak, back in 2021 into 2022.
yeah,
But either way, I'll tell you this. Like I always say, there's no such thing as bad publicity. So Hive's getting more attention because of the perps. Awesome, good. Let's bring on the degens, pump it up. Even if it ends up going back down at some point, it doesn't matter because increased price always draws more eyeballs, which at the end of the day will mean more people that know about Hive and end up staying around, even if it's just a small percentage. So there's nothing bad about more attention in the long run.
yeah, yeah. It's I've already seen a lot of people coming back to Hive asking good questions about it. Obviously, this is really well timed with the Dash integrations and onboarding users. So this is our first AMA in 2025. So it's worth it to mention our little victory lap about crossing the 10,000 monthly active user mark.
Yep.
That was honestly a very difficult battle. I was battling that I was fighting that fight for 18 months. And then towards the end of 2024, we finally found something, and essentially the way it looked is we were just continually trying different ways of onboarding new users. And, this is how all marketing works, is that you throw a lot of darts at the dartboard. Some of them work and some of them don't. And I think what worked really well for us was the Dash integration and
Yep.
launching Keystore. Um, so, as soon as we launched Keystore and the Dash partnership went live, we saw a massive influx in accounts being created. And I've seen some people asking, well, are all those accounts active users? And they are obviously not all active users. Some percentage of them are always just going to be, people trying out the new features, people making alt accounts, people trying to abuse the system, especially because we have the referral reward program. So you've got and then you've got real people, obviously making accounts. You've got a very big mix of different people trying to sign up and make accounts. We do have a lot of systems in place to prevent abuse, though. So, those systems have caught a lot of abuse. They've stopped a lot of people from making, a bunch of fake accounts, and whatnot. So the real metric is active users. That's like the key in, our target is monthly active users that we add to the platform. It's not just accounts that we sign up. If we go based on accounts we've signed up, we'd be at, 25, 30,000 for the year of, 2024. So in terms of total accounts signed up, it's a much bigger number. The monthly active users, that we got from those account signups is the more accurate number, and that's what people should focus on. So, it's it's a really great scenario for us where we tried so many things. Then we eventually found, obviously in September, I met Joel from the Dash team at Hive Fest in Croatia, and then
Power of networking.
yeah, it ended up being, a very, very worthwhile trip for me. Because Joel and I kind of sat there. We went and I told the story a little bit in a recent blog post, but on the INLEO Finance account, if anyone wants to read it. But we are it's in the 2024 recap post, which is like a 25-minute read if anyone wants to go through that. But I met Joel at Hive Fest, and we were talking in the pool hall on the day where everyone did the pool tournament, and we both kind of shared like similar visions the day before in terms of where the crypto industry should be headed. We talked about cross-chain swaps. He has a relationship with the Maya team, so we talked about things like that, kind of bonded over that, and then the next day at the pool hall is when we started saying, why isn't Dash integrated with Hive, and how can we make that happen? And he saw INLEO, and I was showing him, the platform on my phone, and he realized that there's a lot of synergy between Dash, INLEO, and Hive, and I realized that we could potentially onboard their entire community, the entire Dash community, to Hive through INLEO if we had the proper integrations. So. Joel and I kind of outlined three things that needed to happen in order to make that a reality. One, they needed to be able to sign up with a Dash account. Two, they needed to be able to earn in Dash, and three, they needed to be able to buy stuff using Dash. So those were kind of like the three key things, the three key pillars of the integration. So we solved that by adding Keystore, which includes Dash. So that's how they sign up and log in. And then we solved the earn in Dash through the same Keystore integration, but by plugging it into Leo Dex. So now, if you actually go to your wallet, there's been a big UI update. You'll see Leo Dex transactions inside of your inleo.io wallet. So Dash users can now cash out to Dash, and it uses Leo Dex on the back end, but they don't have to leave the INLEO front end to do it. And then the third piece is payments, because if we're going to allow people to cash out in Dash, we also need to allow them to buy stuff in Dash in order to make the economy, functional. Otherwise, you just have a one-way street. Everybody cashing out to Dash would be negative pressure on the Leo price. So what we did was we used the same Leo Dex rails to build Leo Merchants, which a blog post went out last week about that. But Leo Merchants allows any merchant to accept any crypto and it's settled through the Hive economy through the Leo bridging rails. So it uses Leo DEX to settle any payments. So now you can buy premium. If you go to the premium page, there's a whole new premium. It's literally a whole new premium UI and backend. You can subscribe to premium using any crypto, for whether it's monthly or yearly. You can buy it with Bitcoin, you can buy it with Dash, you can buy it with Rune, you can buy it with Cacao, Ethereum, USDC, all these other cryptos. You can use any of them to buy premium, using the INLEO UI. And we created a checkout experience that is very similar to Stripe. So it's super intuitive, super easy to use. If you're signed in with a Keystore, you literally click like two buttons and then you've bought premium, and it swaps everything on the back end through the Leodex rails. Mint Finch said dev team's been on fire, groundbreaking developments. Yeah, I mean, I've been working on another blog post, which, like I said, is going to go out after this AMA. Um, and I was looking at some of the things that we promised back in about 18 months ago. So, kind of ended 2023-ish timeline. We were talking about, the future and launching things like, TikTok on Hive and things like that. And there was this whole list of promises that we made, and I was looking through it, and we literally have delivered on everything except for a handful of things that we decided to not do anymore because they weren't important. So anything that we promised in that list, we delivered on. And then we also delivered a bunch of things that we didn't promise on that list because we took some things off the list that weren't as important and replaced them with more important things. For example, like the Keystore integration, Leo Dex, and the payment rails, things like that. We took certain things like NFTs off of that roadmap and replaced them with more important items. But I was just looking through that list and I was like, people thought I was nuts. People thought we would never be able to deliver some of the things we promised on, and we delivered on all of them. So I find that to be kind of funny.
Mike Trout.
Yeah, and Inleo has been no we've taken our fair share of people talking shit about INLEO and not liking us, on Hive. And there's obviously just a certain group of people that tend to stir drama up about that. But at the end of the day, when I see them trying to make arguments against INLEO, they lack facts and they lack any explanation against why we're able to develop such innovative features for the Hive blockchain. I simply point them to those two things, data points and our development. And then, it is a mic drop because they have literally nothing to say after that.
Well, at the end of the day, to each their own. And there's, as an end user, all I really care about is seeing dApps out there that are developing useful products, useful services, um, that ideally, give more value to the use of the Hive blockchain. So there's a handful of them out there, and everyone just keep doing what you're doing, and don't worry about the rest.
Yeah.
Um, it's funny, I see people posting screenshots from some of the new pages, new wallet page,
Yeah,
the
there's a
new
ton of new
premium
updates.
page.
Yep.
I just clicked on that too, the Your Premium.
Yeah, if you're already premium, it obviously still looks a lot different. And it's more when you subscribe, it shows like all the new features in the checkout process, obviously. But if you're already subscribed, you'll just see the new page and the counter for how many days you have left. Simple Game said we will outgrow the naysayers 100%. Yeah, I agree, and we've continued to do so. I mean, our Hive power is continuing to stack up. So the power of our community, is just continuing to grow larger and larger in terms of the number of people on here and the actual Hive power that we own. So eventually we'll just get too big to ignore. And I already think we are that way. So in that 2024 recap post and then the data post that followed it, if you look at some of the data points, INLEO is now contributing over 35% of all comments on the Hive blockchain. So all the comments every single month on Hive are actually, 35% of them are actually threads from INLEO. So that's pretty incredible. In terms of users, we've got, I think at this point, over 50% of the total Hive user base is INLEO users. Um, in terms of onboarded accounts in that data post. Um, INLEO has, throughout 2024, INLEO onboarded just shy of like 5,000 accounts. So if we had onboarded 5,000 more accounts, we would have onboarded as many accounts as the next five onboarding accounts on Hive. So, I think the total was like 22,000 for INLEO, and then the rest of them did like 27,000. So, INLEO's by far and away onboarding the most accounts and the most, and then when you take, and obviously the refute to that data point is that they're fake accounts or alt accounts or whatever. The refute to that point is that if you look at the activity of those onboarded accounts, we actually have a higher retention rate than all the other ones, all the other onboarding mechanisms. So not only are we onboarding the most accounts, we have the highest retention rate of those accounts that are being onboarded. So our retention rate is something like 40% for the year 2024.
I see someone made a comment and said shorts are back. Is that indeed a fact?
It is indeed a fact. Yeah, we had to make some
We,
upgrades and updates after 3Speak went back online, but now shorts are back and fully functional.
nice, nice, sweet. Maybe I'll do myself a short. What else? Brando asked question, when planning before publishing thread storms slash threadcasts possible? I don't know what he means. Does he mean like
He means like on Twitter or X, how you can write a tweet and then hit the plus button, and then you can write like five tweets before hitting publish to
gotcha?
do a storm. Yeah, we're that's on the roadmap.
I mean, this is going to sound pathetic, but again, I'm still an old school blogger and a little bit of a threader. I don't even know how to launch a threadcast on INLEO.
It's really easy. You ready? You just use the hashtag threadcast, and that's it.
Oh, well, that's simple enough.
Yep, super easy.
Sweet. I'm gonna start it one day when I'm super bored and not leaving my house for a good 24 hours. I'm just gonna start a threadcast called Cat Corner.
Cat
And it's just
corner.
gonna be random thoughts from the cat of life and investing. And then people can join in with their additions.
I think you should. I definitely think you should.
Oh, it's great. I'll find
Um,
a lazy Sunday to do the Cat Corner.
yeah, and in the post that's going to go live later today, like I said, look out. If you wait like 2 hours after this AMA and then look for it, you'll find it. Um, we are, I'm talking about a few things from the roadmap for 2025. Obviously not everything, but a handful of them. One of them is that we're going to add a live streaming feature directly on site. So we won't announce any details about that until quarter two, but we're going to have, along with a bunch of Threadcast updates, there's going to be the ability to actually live stream directly on a Threadcast.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think live videos are, I mean, they've already obviously grown very significantly, but they're going to continue to grow. I've been watching like live shopping and live videos are becoming
Oh,
ever more
that's,
popular.
dude. Yeah, it's like at this point, TikTok is 75% just freaking
Shops.
live shop ads. Like,
Yep.
I'm like, it's either people are just live, period, trying to build a following so then they can eventually do that, or it's just people live selling. So I was like, this is bananas.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which I guess, I don't know. I guess there's an opportunity. I mean, they sent me the email, whatever it was, 6 months ago about like, you're eligible to, um, do whatever. TikTok shop. And I was just like, yeah, I'm good.
Yep.
Oh, I
Task
guess I should
asks
have.
if there's a way to record the live streams. Yeah, you'll be able to record them. You'll be able to record them and
Nice.
you'll be able to push them onto other platforms. So you'll be able to just use INLEO basically. If you're familiar with like Restream, it'll work a lot like that.
I'm gonna live stream. a thread cast, shilling in Leo gear.
like that. INLEO
Yes.
merch.
The only problem is the site that you can buy the merch is, good old fiat dollars.
Well, that's a good segue to talk about Leo merchants.
Nice.
So yeah, so one of the things in that post later today is going to talk about some of my ideas for Leo merchants in 2025. Um, So what we already have built is the ability to use any crypto to buy premium on INLEO. Um, and so you can use Bitcoin, Ethereum, like I said, all of those different cryptos. What we've done is build an API that other apps on Hive will be able to tap into. So other apps will be able to tap into that API and accept any crypto, and it'll settle the payments in HBD. So if you're an app on Hive that accepts HBD, you can instantly tap into this API and accept any crypto. And but so essentially the consumer pays in any crypto, but you still receive HBD at the end of the day. Um, so that'll be like step one of this Leo merchants rollout. The next step from there will be to allow the merchant to select which crypto they want to receive. So, for example, like if instead of receiving HBD, if you want to receive USDC on Arbitrum, you'll be able to say, I want to receive USDC on Arbitrum, but I want to be able to accept still, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever. So LeoDex will handle all that. So the consumer still pays in whatever they want, and then the merchant receives whatever they want at the end of the day. And then we're going to start going out to brick and mortar stores and do the same thing. So I'm talking with Starkers about rolling this out to Distriator, and then looking for other businesses we can roll this out to. And I think, I had this idea the other day. I think there's some potential for us to even launch our own POS system and go to certain businesses where it makes sense for them to accept crypto, and then give them this POS system where they can literally accept any crypto, and get paid in any crypto. So I think there's some big potential there, especially with like Bitcoin ATMs. So that'll be something we work on in 2025.
Dude, it's funny. The Bitcoin ATM thing, you still look at it and be like, oh, it doesn't sound like it's the greatest investment. And I mean, I looked at Bitcoin ATMs like at this point 7 years ago. Obviously, the biggest problem is that you got to find locations. But if you already have locations, I know a buddy of mine, he's potentially partnered up with someone that already has like 10 Bitcoin ATMs in like a bunch of gas stations or whatever, and they're gonna like do more. And apparently makes decent money. Like it's not crazy, but it makes money.
So surprising. It's so surprising to me just because I don't know why you'd buy Bitcoin at an ATM, but
No. Or
I think
like,
I
I
think if
mean,
you
or
know
sell.
crypto, that doesn't make sense. But if you don't know
Exactly. I
crypto,
mean,
it
the
makes
Bitcoin
sense.
ATM is for, I mean, the reality is from the vibe I got, the Bitcoin ATMs were mainly being used, by people, let's just say dealing in cash businesses.
Right.
So I guess, hey, if there's a market, right? You always got to figure out what the niche market is, and
Yep.
then give the people what they want.
I give the people what they want.
Speaking of Bitcoin, I mean, shit, it's been dumping while we've been on. This morning it took a dump.
Yeah,
It's
97.4.
down almost 5,000 points on today's candle. It was at 100,700 literally 3 hours ago, and now we're down at 97.4.
Damn.
Yeah, a little sell-off action right there. But
You know what's not selling off is Hive. Still
yeah,
going
it's
strong.
still 60, it's at 60 cents. I
Still
wouldn't
going
mind if it
strong.
sold off to like 50 cents so I could, book some stuff and flip. But yeah, I don't know. It's been interesting. Obviously, Ethereum never made a new high. See if it gets there at some point. It's not far off. I mean, it's only 500 points from all-time highs. But anyway, what do we got? I've seen a few people ask about Leo ads again.
Yeah, this post will talk a little bit about them. The key with building Leo ads is that you need a critical mass of viewership. So if we launch Leo ads with the current viewership, it's just not going to be very effective. So, we're not just doing like what we had in the past. We had ads for years on INLEO. If you go back a few years ago, and we were using ad networks, and those ad networks don't really pay you very much. Um, they pay you pennies on the dollar in terms of what your actual um, activity metrics are. So what we need instead is a direct B2B ad system, and that's what we've built, but we're not launching it yet. So all this stuff is ready. It's just not going to get pushed live until the UI is in a place where it'll matter. So. So what the rollout plan is going to look like for that is, and really 2025 in general, especially early 2025, is going to be focused on using the Dash partnership that we just did and using that as a template and launching with other ecosystems. So,
$100.
we've got the ChainFlip ecosystem. They'll most likely be next in terms of the partnership template. So we're going to launch with just imagine what we did with Dash with, nine other ecosystems, major ecosystems in the space. So, ChainFlip, ThorChain, Maya interfaces, Arbitrum Foundation, and many others. We're going to launch it with all of those. The join INLEO earn, XYZ crypto, and also pay in anything, if they want to go premium or use creator subs. And then from there, I think we'll have the attention and the business connections to make INLEO ads make sense. So, you'll have Arbitrum Foundation people, you'll have Maya people, you'll have Thorchain people, you'll have Dash people, and all of those people will be much more likely to buy ad space on INLEO, once those integrations are all live.
So Simple Game had an interesting question. He said, did Keystore replace all light accounts? I would like to let players/users use Apple/Google logins for accounts. Thoughts this would help with normie onboarding.
No, so Keystore is just a new integration. So if you go to the sign up page, you'll see it's the recommended one because it's just as easy, maybe even easier than light accounts. But they are actually full accounts. They're not even light accounts. So um, they're essentially what we did was we took the seed phrase from a Keystore and we used it to generate a Hive password. So it's actually a really interesting integration because it's like I said, it's easy to use as a light account, but it's not a light account, it's a full account. And you're just using the seed phrase from the key store to create the Hive account. So we've essentially done what is as good as taking, the way that key stores allow you to have a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, Litecoin, all the different wallets. We're taking that model and we're just integrating Hive into it. So, that's exactly what we did with key stores, and that's why it's so powerful and why we've seen like if you look at again that data post we just published the other day, that was yesterday. The surge in onboarding that happened since Keystore has been dramatic. So long story short, simple game. You can still use the X and Google Lite accounts. I still recommend Keystore, especially for crypto people, but if you're talking non-crypto people, then Lite accounts still probably make the most sense. Manu Photos asked, what about creating an ad system where hivers can pay to create an ad thread on InLeo? Yeah, we've already built that. So that's what Leo ads is. So when you see people saying when Leo ads, they're asking us to push that live. Again, I haven't pushed it live. So the ad system we built is so that not only can hivers pay to create an ad thread or an ad post or whatever on InLeo, it'll use the Leo Merchants API. So you can pay with any crypto and it'll settle in HBD, and you'll be able to put an ad on INLEO. And it looks like, so like I said, we've already built this and it's literally ready to roll out, but the key is attention. So I don't want to roll it out until we have the proper attention in place. Um, but it looks like Facebook ads. So you create an ad, you select a target audience, you set a budget, and then you launch that ad. And once that ad is live, it's using your daily budget to show the ad on INLEO, and you can pay with any crypto to launch the ad.
Well, the good news is apparently the Google login has been beneficial because so like Ahmad Manga said, that's how they've been able to invite people to Hive. So that's good. And then, yeah, I think, like you said, the whole Dash experience does create a blueprint for onboarding other crypto communities. And, that's finally kind of like you said, with marketing and onboarding, you try so many different things. And this kind of goes back to we joking about the Bitcoin ATMs, where it's like, well, there's a niche market, like, there's a segment that needs to be served. And that's essentially what you found with the Dash experience. It's like, all right, well, there's existing crypto users out there that can benefit from getting onto the Hive blockchain. So, and that's as we've talked about before, that's a warmer audience than bringing on normies who have to like learn crypto. So, as far as exponential return and servicing a niche market, it's like the niche market is existing crypto users, um, which is nice because you can still work on the whole new user thing, um, but see some gains from tapping existing crypto user bases.
Yeah. No, I think what we've hit on with the Dash integration is really incredible. It's it's showing that the real potential for us to grow, and now we can kind of segue into the 50,000 monthly active user target for 2025. The real growth out there is with this Keystore integration and using it to target all these crypto communities because I will tell you that ever since the Dash integration, we've not only been reaching out to a lot of these ecosystems, they've been reaching out to us and they're asking, how can we have, join INLEO earn Dash, but for Arbitrum or for Ethereum, or for these other cryptos, how can we integrate your platform so that they essentially, because what we did with Dash, and I was talking about this before the integration went live, the goal of the Dash integration was a Dash user should come to INLEO and it should look like INLEO was built for Dash. They should see payouts in Dash, payout values. They should be able to join using a Dash wallet. They should be able to cash out into Dash. They should be able to buy things using Dash. And overall, everything looks like it was actually just handmade for Dash. So now we're going to literally copy and paste that. So it looks like that for Arbitrum, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cacao, Rune, um, Flip, Solana, all, imagine actually, and this will, I'll talk about this after the 50,000 mouse thing, but, imagine all these different ecosystems just having Inleo as a platform that looks like it was natively built for them, but it's actually natively built on Hive, but the front end experience looks like it was built for them. So the key is and this is that, tagline I've used for years, which is, Web 2 on the front end, Web 3 on the back end. So it looks and feels like you're using X, Twitter, Facebook, all these other regular social media platforms, but on the back end, all the magic is happening with Web 3 and Leo Dex.
That's interesting. So from a UI perspective, someone that comes from the Dash community, they're going to see the UI exactly as I do, except for the payouts are not going to show like they're going to show Dash as opposed to like Leo.
Exactly. So
And we'll show like Dash HBD Hive or like it does Leo HBD Hive, or we'll just show Dash.
so you know how it shows your payout value in dollars if you want it to? That's like the
Yes.
default. So instead of dollars, it shows Dash. And then if you
Gotcha.
hover over it, it shows the breakdown of that, Hive HBD Leo. And then when they get paid, they click more and then dashboard. And there's a module at the top that says cash out to Dash. And it shows them the value of all their earnings. And then they can click one button and it cashes them out to the Dash wallet as Dash.
Okay. Okay. So at the end of the day, now correct me if I'm wrong from what I just heard. The way they're actually earning Dash isn't so much that they're earning Dash, is that they can convert their earnings to Dash with a
Exactly.
click.
They click
Gotcha.
one,
So they're
it's that they're
earning,
earning like everybody else, but they click
got
a
you.
button and to cash out, they click a button and it converts all their earnings to Dash. And
Yeah,
it does so using Leo Dex.
gotcha. Okay. So they're earning in Leo,
They're earning
HBD
Leo,
Hive.
HBD, and Hive
Yeah.
Power. The Hive Power is stayed, it stays staked. So, they're earning Hive and they're not selling the
Full.
Hive. It just stays
And
staked in their
then
account.
And then when they hit the convert button, you said it uses Leo Dex,
It uses Leo Dex to convert their HBD and their Leo into Dash.
which obviously generates fees for Leo Dex.
Generates fees for Leo Dex. Yeah, there. Thunk just posted a screenshot of what it looks like. Because
Yeah,
Thunk,
you're
so if you're
building.
signed up with Dash, that it specifically looks like that. If you're not signed up with Dash, you don't even see that. So I think this is a
Oh, there you
good,
go.
yeah, this is actually a good testimonial for how we built this stuff, is that it's meant to be very intuitive. And for you as an existing user, you didn't even know it exists because it's not meant for you. It's meant for Dash people. So so yeah, it's
Well,
go ahead.
what's good about this though is like, so you're talking about, because at the end of the day, it's like, you think about like, I mean, go back to like, early day hives, like block trades, right? Early on, wasn't much use for it, right? And now obviously, block trades ended up being used a ton. So, as basically that need grew and that user base grew, right? Because Hive obviously 2016 compared to now, a lot more going on. So what you're doing essentially is by bringing on these other communities, right? Most of these people probably going to convert into their, preferred coin, right? Because just whatever, loyalist, that's the coin they prefer, that's the platform they're from.
Right.
Um, and by doing that, every time they do that, Leo Dex is earning fees. So you're basically building a customer base that I don't want to say it's automated, but like it's going to create value. And every other crypto platform you bring on is going to create more, I don't say automatic volume for Leo Dex, but pretty much automatic volume
Right.
for Leo Dex. So by bringing on these communities, we're essentially increasing Leo Dex fees um, organically. And that could become pretty substantial over time.
Yeah, Leo is meant to be a utility asset. So as we grow the users on the platform and the, overall engagement and economies of scale, our goal is to collect revenue every time people pass go. So the way you look at it is a Dash user and the minimum cash out is 0.25 Dash. And that's because of, Maya limitations on swaps. Um, So, you look at a Dash user, and as soon as they reach that 0.25 Dash, if they click cash out, they're, getting the Dash that they want. So, they're happy. And INLEO as an ecosystem is happy because we just collected a fee for them pass and go. And every time they come around and pass go, which is equivalent to them earning 0.25 Dash, we collect a fee and it permanently buys Leo and pools it. Um, so now you imagine that that scales up to 50,000 monthly active users. And if you have, 40,000 of those monthly active users cashing out to Dash, Arbitrum, ETH, Bitcoin, whatever their preferred crypto is, and we just collect a fee every time they pass go. That is very powerful. If you assume any, economy of scale there, it's, assume that it's $100,000 a month and INLEO collects a 1% fee on all of those. That's $1,000 a month. Now you just keep scaling that up, and the more it scales up, the more that Leo is getting permanently bought off the market. Um, so the real key, and like I said, there were three pillars to the integration. The real key is that not only can they cash out in Dash, they can buy stuff on INLEO using Dash. So Joel actually posted a tweet on X, I think yesterday, where he shared some screenshots because I had him test cashing out Dash and then also paying for premium using Dash. So basically what happened was I sent him $10 worth of Leo to his account, a testing account, and then he cashed out the $10 worth of Leo to $10 worth of Dash. Then he bought premium using that $10 worth of Dash. So, InLeo collects a fee on both times he passed go because we collected a fee when he cashed out, and then we collected a fee when he went premium. And then when he went premium, he's actually buying a product from InLeo because InLeo's automated contract is that if you send $10 worth of HBD to at Leo Pool, then we give you premium for 30 days. So Joel bought premium for 30 days using $10 worth of Dash. So not only did we collect a fee on Leo Dex for that swap, we also collected, the $10 for premium as, Dash converted to HBD. And then that $10 worth of HBD then buys Leo off the market and pools it permanently. So all these different revenue mechanisms are working in synergy.
That's awesome. Like I didn't realize you could do that as far as the purchasing premium with like their native crypto. That's huge because I mean that's Because it's like, all right, yeah, earning fees is great, but what's any incentive for them to essentially spend within INLEO? And there you go. Because I mean, premium generally is going to be desirable, and being able to use their native crypto to purchase it makes it super easy.
Yeah, it's I'm pulling up a screenshot for you just so you can see it, but it's really incredible because what we built is a Web 2 like experience for the checkout process, but it uses any crypto that they want in order to do it.
That's awesome.
One thing I was going to mention when I was talking about the monthly active users while I grab you this screenshot, um, is that we here I'm pulling up the screenshot for you right now. There's what the so I'm posting this in the threadcast. So if you're just listening, open the threadcast and you'll see what I'm sharing. So what this does is you go to the premium page now, and it has plugged into LeoDex so that you can now accept any crypto that is listed on LeoDex. So there's three screenshots.
Rate the premium. Select payment method. Hmm. Some game's ready to be a live stream tester.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I'll definitely let you know when it's ready. So those screenshots will show you what it looks like to follow the premium sign up flow with any crypto. Um,
Select token. Nice.
so yeah, you'll see in the select token page, it literally is the LeoDex framework. So it looks identical to LeoDex, and you can select any crypto on LeoDex and then pay with it for premium. So So yeah, this is going to bring a lot of Dash users to premium. We're already seeing premium grow a little bit. And this is literally brand new. It just rolled out. I think on Sunday we rolled it to production. So I'm working with Joel right now to do a little campaign with Dash users to onboard them to premium. So we're going to start onboarding a bunch of Dash people to premium. They're going to be buying premium with Dash, which is going to be awesome to see. If you actually look at the Leo Dex account, you can see there's a lot of swap activity already. The Hive aggregation technology is live. The V2 is live. So we've been seeing a lot of swaps there. And obviously the premium activity is going to be adding to that.
I didn't, Morty just said premium is almost 2 years old now. That's wild. If
Wow,
that's the case, I'm like,
that is
what have
crazy.
I done with the last 2 years of my life? Like
In
that,
crypto,
that was two
everything
years
feels
ago,
different.
right? I can't believe that was that long ago. Feels like it
Yeah.
was maybe a year.
Yeah, it does not feel that long ago.
Edwin said, for people making monthly purchase of Hive, it might be efficient to buy Dash with fiat and then bring that on chain via Leo Dex. I'll investigate the process.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm
Edwin, let me
curious to see
know.
how that. Yeah, I'm just curious to see how that plays out. Feel free to write a post about it after you do it.
Definitely. Yeah, and it's not just Dash. I mean, you can definitely do it with Dash. You can also do it with USDC Arbitrum, which is on Coinbase and really easy to buy through Coinbase with no fees because of USDC. Um, So, one thing I've been playing with is if you want to buy Hive with fiat in the US, a big thing that you can do is buy USDC on Arbitrum, through Coinbase, and then send it through LeoDex and buy Hive, and you buy native Hive with it. And a lot of times you actually get a negative fee. Um, so you can actually get a negative fee when you do the Hive swap, which means that LeoDex is actually paying you to swap because the pricing is inefficient.
Nice.
Um, IJat said question, and this will get into one of the things I wanted to mention. Monero has been on ThorChain for quite a long time. What could trigger its integration into Leo DEX? So two of the things I've talked about in the post that'll go live after this is we're integrating ChainFlip and ThorChain to LeoDex. So right now, LeoDex only has Maya and Hive. We're going to integrate ThorChain and ChainFlip, most likely ChainFlip next, and then ThorChain afterwards. When we integrate ChainFlip, we'll also be getting Solana because that's on ChainFlip, and all the other blockchains that ChainFlip supports. Um, and I'm already in talks with the ChainFlip team, so that's why I think they're probably going to be the next. And Hive just broke 60 cents, by the way. I think they're going to be the next integration. So it'll be join INLEO, earn, flip, and we'll also be able to integrate Solana and many meme coins that are on Solana after that ChainFlip integration goes live. So now imagine all these meme coin communities also open up to our framework for the join INLEO, earn, dash, kind of copy paste template for every other crypto, and we'll just continue to roll them out. So ChainFlip offers a massive opportunity to us, and that'll be the next big rollout. And then, like you said, Monero is on ThorChain. We're going to add ThorChain to the Join in Leo Earn Rune campaign, and then ThorChain will be integrated on LeoDex through the aggregation technology. So anything that's listed on ThorChain will also then be capable of adding join in Leo earn XYZ. So, if there's anyone prominent in the Monero community that wants to reach out, we could do join in Leo earn Monero. So many opportunities and doors are opening because of this Dash integration. It's really wild to see how things have turned around since then.
Nice. Um,
Yeah, Mr. Hive, I
my
think
mom.
Solana will be integrated probably in the next month or less.
Oh, word?
hmm Through ChainFlip.
Shit, that could be huge.
Yeah. So you'll be able to buy premium using Sol or anything on Solana.
Nice. So kind of touching back on Leo Dex, I saw Ahmad Manga said, did the problem of swapping from other crypto into Leo is it completely fixed? I'm afraid to try doing it again. I guess he's still waiting on some Leo.
What was the question?
He's asking if swapping from other cryptos into Leo is I guess functional again.
Yeah, it's definitely functional. So if you got a ticket open, it's on a previous one. But you can keep swapping. There's a reason why there's currently a $50 swap limit on the Hive Aggregation Technology V2. We'll slowly raise that limit as things get more smooth, but right now they're super smooth. So I haven't seen any fail today.
Okay,
Base are
yes.
on ThorChain now. Solana on ThorChain will be next from Sheeb. Yeah, so base on ThorChain means that when we integrate the ThorChain aggregation on LeoDex, we'll be able to do join in Leo earn base. So if anyone here knows Brian Armstrong, tell him to reach out because I would love to do join in Leo earn base.
That would be awesome. Hashtag Coinbase public relations, hashtag Coinbase HR,
Tag them,
hashtag.
tag them
Yeah.
all.
Say hello to INLEO, your new friend.
Your new friend.
That'd be bananas. Unfortunately, if that synergy played out, the added benefit of getting Leo listed on Coinbase would not be possible, right? Because technically token, but Hive could.
Why wouldn't it be able to?
I don't know. Would it be able to? I
I
guess
don't
they
see
could
why
create a
not.
market for it.
I don't really see why not, to be honest.
I don't know. I guess now it can. Yeah, it used to be Hive engine tokens, not so much, but I guess that's not the case anymore now that we're basically have wrapped version on Ethereum.
Yeah, INLEO lives on all
Um,
these other blockchains.
and yeah, facts. In that case, let's go. Leo on Coinbase as well.
Leo can be everywhere.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, there's going to be some interesting news about Leo listings in 2025, but I
Nice.
won't
I
get into
like it.
those.
I like it. Little teasers.
Teaser to leave the people with. Um,
Exactly. Keep them juiced.
Yeah, like I said, my closing thoughts will be look out for this blog post. We'll need a lot of support, a lot of good comments on it. So, I'll be posting it on threads and talking about it in Discord. And if you guys can go and leave a good comment on it, that would be very helpful. It's going to be integral to the future of Leo. So I'm excited to talk about the roadmap and talk about all the things we've accomplished and will accomplish in the near future. So. Um,
I like it.
yeah.
I will
Any closing
continue to,
words?
yeah, I will continue to show up and offer color commentary because at the end of the day, it's about all I'm good for.
The
I'm just a power user like all you other folks that are listening. I just
essential
joined
lion,
Cal. Yes, I
the
just
lion
joined Cal
cat.
for the shits and giggles of talking crypto and talking Leo. I'm just sitting on my bags, waiting for the Yellow Brick Road to
Yep.
bring me to the pot of gold.
It'll be Leo. It's the pot of Leo at the end of the rainbow.
Right? No, it's been
All right.
interesting to see, the
Platform is
Leo
so different than it
finance.
was. I've been going through a lot of old content for, these
Oh my
blog
goodness,
posts.
dude.
It's so much different, just even a year later.
I remember when, Leo Finance launched. I remember I was looking into creating like it wouldn't have been called Leo Finance, but I was looking into creating something like that. I'm like, we need like a seeking alpha like on a blockchain. And then all of a sudden, like days later, I get hit up some random dude named Cal. He's like, "Hey, I heard you're pretty active posting about crypto and blah 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 blah." He's like, "Would you be interested in jumping on Leo Finance I'm creating?" And I'm like, "Sure." And then like me and Rollin and Neil and a couple others became like, and the early power
Early
users, so to
users.
speak.
Yep.
Yeah. And so
It's
much has
crazy.
changed. Yeah. So much has changed over the years and just stacking Leo over the
Yeah,
long
our
term.
our 6 year anniversary for when Leo launched is on July 3rd of this year. So
Wow.
six
Oh my
years.
God.
Yeah.
6 years I've been slumming around in Leo. Man,
Yeah,
I
I
don't even
was
know how I
only
feel about that.
I don't know. Was I 20 or 21? I think I was
Yeah,
21.
you were like trying to pull the Mark Zuckerberg. You're like, fuck college. I'm gonna build a social empire.
It's exactly what happened.
And I'm like,
Exactly what
what,
happened.
6 years? I just turned 40. And I guess my idea was like, yeah, I'm gonna hang out with this crypto Zuckerberg guy here, and he's gonna make me rich.
It
Oh,
happens.
too funny.
Yeah.
So, no, it's definitely been an adventure, and it's been crazy to see all the changes and the rebrand and all that and what it's turning into. So, crypto Twitter, here we go.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, but we are closer to the end game than we've ever been before, and that'll just continue to happen. You know, as we build to $100 million market cap and then a billion and so on and so forth. Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm not going anywhere.
The Morty, I think it's just a one-off aberration. Don't worry, your background will be behind Cal again next week. This is just an off week.
Well, one of my gifts this year was an INLEO metal engraved sign. So I'm planning on putting it like right here. So I don't know. I may switch to like a actual like IRL background.
Go natural. Honestly,
I
the
might go
funny part
natural,
is the studies show that like the natural backgrounds is actually like technically better than having
the virtual.
um yeah.
Yeah,
So
and the videographer for the shorts I've noticed is when it's got a virtual background, sometimes it doesn't come out very well in terms of the
I
shorts.
like I like that. So no, Vic Van, actually I turned 40 when INLEO launched. I'm 46. So I'm glad you thought I looked good for even 40 because I'm much older than that. So we'll 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 say it's the camera even though it's not. Right, I'm
Katerina
just
said, "Oh, go ahead."
no, I was just gonna make a joke about you. Go ahead. We're good.
Katerina said, "I think I missed this. When will the new premium page be ready?" It's already live. Just hit the
Boom,
hit the premium
live.
button. Live. When your when is answered with a now, not a soon.
That's
Soon
right. I
is
didn't realize
now.
this is the first AMA of the year.
It is.
2025, baby. Off to a start. We got
Yeah, we're
I don't know why I
off.
say
We're
I
off
don't
to
know
the
why I say
races.
we. I have no involvement of doing any of this. INLEO has got Dash onboarded, and it's just the first of many. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at go look at the blog posts on Leo Finance since the start of 2025, and it's like, damn, we hit this year running. Leodex V2's live, uh, Premium's live, being able to buy with any crypto. The cash outs are fully live for Dash users. New wallet UI is live. Shorts are fixed. I mean, it's just insane. Like the amount of updates is wild. So chain flip soon. Chain flip very soon.
Yep. Well, at the end of the day, just remember, vote the cat because he doesn't get paid for any of this shit.
Vote the cat. That's how we pay him. He's paid in
Exactly.
votes.
I got to get back to posting every day. I post like probably once every 3 days now. Usually only when I have something to say, but talk about crypto prices, especially Bitcoin.
There's a lot to say about crypto prices lately.
Yeah, we got action again. So, I mean, ironically, Bitcoin made me look dumb because I just posted last night about how surprisingly we were getting positive price action and it was kind of making the monthly chart not look as scary. And then sure shit, it shits the bed today. And I'm like, oh no, the pattern actually is back in play. I'm like the bearish monthly pattern is back in play. But it might be
Shit.
consolidation, to be honest with you. Like I look at the last like top and then kind of we had the same thing. And yeah, we did dip. When you look at the monthly, it doesn't look like anything, but it still was like a 25,000 point dip. But that's fine. So if Bitcoin, let's just say hypothetically, was to see 80K, I don't know that I would sweat that. I think that would be a normal pullback. So, but
Yeah.
ideally, we don't have to sweat that out. I mean, the easy button is we just get above 100K, stay above 100K.
Hmm.
But you got to consolidate at some point, and we're 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 pulled away from the short-term moving averages on the longer time frames. So doesn't mean they have to pull back to them, but more often than not, you see at least, some time for them to catch up. So I'll take sideways consolidation. I would love if we just bounced around in the 90s for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind a little bit more time to accumulate. I've been
Yeah.
accumulating ETH. I've been accumulating Leo. Like I said, I was accumulating Hive. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I stopped buying Hive um, just for the moment while things kind of cool off because I just don't know. I mean, going from 20 cents to 60 cents in 60 days is wild. So I've stopped hitting the buy button temporarily, and I'll
Yeah, it
kind of
ended up
see
being
where
a
things
good
settle. They could settle higher. So I don't know. I just feel crazy with all the volatility.
either way. I mean, it'd be dumb not to, take some of that, especially like at least the coin you were buying down at like 20, 25 cents. So I was not a Hive buyer. I did not have the faith. So
I
good
was a
on
big Hive
you.
buyer and I staked it all. So
There you go. Surprisingly, I've actually still been adding, I mean, I've added alts, but I've still just been adding Bitcoin here and there. Um, but that's because I want, again, to build a bigger bag to have as collateral in the future, you know. So everyone's in different spots in their crypto portfolio journeys.
yeah, for sure. For sure. Got to do what
But
makes sense for you.
exactly. So in the meantime, I'm hoping we could see Hive dip back down to 50 cents so I can flip back long in the green.
Yeah, I would yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't mind a little dip so I could buy some more. I think
Right.
like 37 cents would be a nice place to just start
Oh
accumulating again.
man, I would love to see a 37-cent Hive.
Yeah.
It's funny how times
See.
change.
Yeah, we'll see.
2 months ago, you would love to see 37 cents meant like going up to 37.
Yeah. It's always funny how the psychology behind that works.
That's all right. That's what
We'll make
happens when
it.
you actively trade.
We'll make it. All
Cool.
right.
All right. Well, until the next one.
Yep. Thanks, Mitch. Thanks everybody for coming. We'll see if Hive's a dollar by the next AMA.
That'd be sick.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Look out for the
All right.
posts in the next couple hours.